Um, I wanted you to look on page 167. We've got RC low pass and RC high pass filters. Okay. Now, to explain this, I need to talk about frequency cutoff. What you're going to see is the filter. It's a RC. It's the capacitor resistor. It's hooked up to a generator, and you're going to see that it's reacting to the frequencies until a particular point where it says, okay, now I'm going to start rejecting those frequencies, okay? And I don't really want to go into it seriously until we get to advanced, but we are going to build some of those just to see how they react to the frequencies, okay? So if we look at the construction, you'll notice that the construction is different. What is different? Well, let's see. They look at the capacitor for the output. They're actually just looking at what's happening across the capacitor. And notice the frequency response for the RC low pass filter is across the capacitor. As the frequency increases, what happens? Well, we find a cutoff frequency. It doesn't denote it because it depends on what the resistor and the capacitor are as to what the cutoff frequency is. Okay, so it might be lower or higher depending on what combination you use. They're in series. Did you notice that? They're in series. They do not show a parallel in this book, do they? No, not really. They actually show a ladder circuit, but we're not going to talk about that. So at a cutoff frequency determined by the resistor and the capacitor, we will find a response that will, at 0.707. Oh, that's kind of familiar, isn't it? So what are we looking at? If we look at the 0.707 of a voltage, what are we really talking about? RMS. Okay, so at an RMS of the RC circuit, that's where we're going to, so what we're seeing is we're looking at the sine wave and we're saying at the RMS value, that's where we're going to call the cutoff. So at that frequency for those two components, when we see that point, wham, now we're saying, okay, everything beyond that's going to be rejected. Notice it's a gradual curve. So it's not real tight. So it's just going to be more like a bandwidth type thing. You're going to see it's going to take them, then it's going to taper off, and after a certain point, then you won't see those frequencies. They'll be gone. Okay, they'll be grounded or whatever. What are we going to do with them? Pass them on by. Okay. Notice the next one is high pass filter, and they're just looking at it across the resistor instead. And the same cutoff frequency at that same RMS value, okay?